Hi, I'm talking today to Jessica Mcgregor Johnson. Jessica is a UK coach, mentor, and author. Hi, Jessica. Thank you so much for letting me interview you today for Askimo TV's International Library of Interviews with Experts.
Hi, Joanna. Very nice to meet you and very happy to be with you today.
Wonderful. Jessica, so today we're going to talk about being there, done that, got the wrong t-shirt. So tell me a little bit about the slogan of yours.
Well, I've been working as a coach for 9 years now, and it came to me actually at the beginning of this year when I was looking to write another book, which is actually the right t-shirt, because I realised that a lot of people I work with are very successful in the fields that they're in, but they've been there and done that and got the t-shirt, but they've got the wrong one. They thought all these things were going to make them happy, but actually they don't. And so it's quite disappointing at that point, because you kind of realise, I mean, I had that moment myself many years ago where I drove my car up on the top of the hill and looked down on my thatched cottage and thought, well, this is empty and meaningless, this doesn't make me happy, and I thought it would. And I was quite upset at the time. And a lot of people I work with get to that point where I've done this, I've got the career, I've got all these things that are supposed to make me happy, but I've got the wrong t-shirt, effectively. And so it's very much about finding out what is the right t-shirt for you. What is it that's really going to put meaning into your life? Because I think that's what, in some ways, we are all looking for. We might not say it in that way, but meaning, deep meaning in our life is what makes us feel fulfilled.
How do I know if it's the right time for me to get support?
When you looked at it from all the angles you can think of looking at it and you can't find a way forward, effectively, what I tend to do is that I get people to look at their lives from a different perspective. Because the problem is that we move forward in life and we look at life head on, because that's where it seems to be coming towards us. But the problem is with that is that if we've looked in that direction for so long, we can't see anything new. And so if someone's at that point where they're thinking, something has to change, but I don't know what, that's the moment that you need to have somebody who has, A, no agenda in your life, because if you turn to your friends and family, they're going to try and temper down whatever change you make, because they don't actually want you to change too much, because they like you how they are, they love you how you are. But the fact that you're not happy is difficult, and so you want somebody who's not in your life, who can come with a different perspective and help you actually see and find out and dig deep, like, what would my right t-shirt look like?
What are some of the biggest mistakes people make when they realize that they have the wrong t-shirt?
Well, some people think it's too late to even start changing. You know, they might have worked for 20 years to get to where they want to be, and then they think, well, I've done all this now, I can't do it. So even though they want to change, they might think they can't. So that's one of the main mistakes that people actually make, is that they think it's too late to make a change. I've worked with people who are in their late 50s and are making major life changes at that point and are thrilled and excited about it. Because I think life isn't supposed to be you get there and then you trundle along doing the same thing forever. As human beings, we like to evolve, we like to change, we like new challenges in our life. And so it's okay if you get to, 40 or 45 or wherever and think, actually, I want to do something totally different. So giving yourself permission is actually one of the main things. And the mistake for a lot of people is they don't give themselves permission to even start to look to change. Another one.
Sorry, carry on.
Sorry, another one I just want to mention is that often people think change can be quick. If I could just get the quick fix and then I'll be happy. And it's not about that. Change you need to take the time to go inside and find out what really does make you tick, because often we haven't looked at that for a long time. And so it's giving yourself time to take that step forward and really find out what you want and then start to put in place. I've worked with people who literally we've set up once, working out what they want to do and what that right t-shirt looks like. It's then a 3-year plan. But that's fine, because at least you know you're going to get there.
What do you think are the reasons that cause people to put off getting the help or support that they need to continue, and instead they rather continue trying to do it alone?
It's funny you should ask that. I was speaking to one of my clients recently who I've been working with her for a few months now, and she said that for her it felt hard because in the world we live in we're supposed to be independent and strong and able to make our changes and make decisions on our own. And so it's really it's almost like she felt, the shame is too strong a word, but it kind of like if I'm not strong enough if I have to ask for help. But what I say to people is that, we all need help. We all have strengths and we all have places where we need help. And if you look at children, if they can't do something, they're going to come up and say, help, I need help, how do I do this? They're constantly asking for help, actually. So we need to kind of come back to be that childlike and admit that there's things that we do need help with in life. And that, I think, stops people most of all. And then when they start and they see how great it is to have that different perspective and new ideas, then they take off. But it's making that first decision of that it's okay to have help, it's okay to ask for help, and have somebody who, I have, been there, done that, and got the wrong t-shirt. So I know exactly what it takes to get the right one.
Jessica, what are some of the top tips that you can share on how to live a passionate life?
Well, the first thing is that you need to discover your passions. And your passions are not the things you think you should have in your life or you ought to be doing in your life. Your passions are really heartfelt. I do something called the passion test, which helps you discover your top 5 passions. And often people will come to me and they think their passions are going to be their business or their career, and actually it's not. Their passions one of them might be around that, but the rest might be about how they live their life and their lifestyle and their friends and their family. And the thing about a passionate life is that whenever you're faced with a choice or a decision or an opportunity, you need to choose in favour of your passions. So you need to look at what comes along, and it might look a great thing, but if it's taking you away from your passions, if it's taking you away from your family, if your family is important to you, if it's taking you away from kind of being fit and healthy, if that's important to you, then you need to think twice. Because just because an opportunity comes along doesn't mean we have to say yes to it. So it's about always choosing in favour of those top 5 passions. And the reason I say 5 is because, some people when they do the passion test, they send me this great long list of 40 passions. If you try and imagine trying to live all of those at the same time, it's just not possible. And so you need to have our conscious mind can only really focus 5 to 7 things at any one time. And so you need to have that top 5, which is the snapshot of where you are right now. And your passions change. As we grow and evolve, our passions grow and evolve with us. Because that's what life is about. It is about always expanding. But choosing in favour of your passions when you're faced with different decisions or opportunities is absolutely key. But knowing them first is important.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you so much for talking to me today.
You're very welcome. Lovely to have a chat.